Track work on Tuesday morning. This horse is Great Geronimo, who goes around in race 1 with HS Skill to take the ride. He draws gate 11 and he's coming off a recent win here back on the 3rd of March. Wasn't far away in a Class 5 race here at the last meeting. That is Great Geronimo, and he goes around in the Fukuoka handicap. Now, Victory March has undergone a stable change recently, now prepared by Peter Lee here at Ipoh. And Casey Wong will take the ride. He draws the outside barrier in the opening race, and Victory March normally races on the speed. Has coming off a couple of unplaced efforts there at Penang, and Victory March first up since the 3rd of February. Carrying the number 52 saddle cloth is Deputy Law, who's had 7 starts this preparation and was back in form last time out when he was placed at Penang at very big odds. He was beaten 4 lengths on that occasion in a 1400 metre Class 5. That is Deputy Law. Saddam's got the ride and goes around in race 1. Now Blade Meister goes around in race number 2. Jackie Chua will take the ride. Blade Meister does tend to mix his form around. He failed at Ipoh last time out over 1400 metres, has been freshened up since that outing, and he was placed in Penang back in early February. That's Blade Meister from the PK Leong yard, and Jay Chua to take the ride. Now this is Empire Bay, who goes around in the 2nd race, the Hokkaido handicap. And the 35 and below rated runners, and Empire Bay does look well suited. Recent form only moderate, and is coming off an unplaced run there from a wide barrier. That race was in Penang back on the 24th of March. Empire Bay has won 7 from 70 overall. Casey Tam takes the ride and goes around in race 2. Jetstar Eagle also goes around in the Hokkaido handicap. This horse has a little habit of missing the start on the odd occasion. AK Lim will take the ride. He draws barrier 6 and is coming off an unplaced effort there. They're at Penang over 1400 metres, and that is Jetstar Eagle. Now this is Flying Winner, who goes around in race number 3. He's had the 4 runs this preparation since joining the Norasman yard last year, and hasn't been far away in those starts, coming off an unplaced effort there at KL over 1200 metres. Steps up to the 1400 this time around. Has had the 3 wins from 47 starts, and all of those 3 victories have been over the 1400 journey. Number 66, that's Flying Winner. The KL Chong trained In Full Bloom, the 3-year-old filly, has had the 12 race starts to date for 2 wins, both victories over the 1100 and also the 1400 metres. Steps back to the 1200 on Saturday, goes around in race number 4. J. Daniel retains the mount. That is In Full Bloom. Look for improvement on its recent starts. Now, number 62 is Crown Star. This horse has showed a bit of promise in its 2 outings so far. One on debut there in KL back on the 17th of February. That was over 1200 metres. And then acquitted itself quite well in a 4-year-old, that great race at KL 2 weeks ago when it ran 3rd to a great timing. So steps up to Class 4 for the first time this weekend, and it looks a very good chance with Lu Ho aboard. That is Crown Star, who is now with the Norasman stable. Now, Peshable's Cannon, coming off some recent form, including a second back in October last year, but is second up this time in for the new stable of Shanmugam. Zed Karil takes the ride, has to overcome the wide barrier jaw, Peshable's Cannon, but wasn't far away in the race won by Verbal Link here back on the 24th of March. That is Peshable's Cannon, goes around in race 4, Zed Karil with the ride. The last start winner, Golden Empire, finally broke the duck there at start number 21. Sathi has got the ride once again, and he draws barrier number 8 in race 5 on the program. That is the Nara Handicap. Golden Empire recorded a 4-length victory, defeated Handsome Boss here at the last meeting back on the 10th of March. That is Golden Empire. Now, Luck Happy is the horse working up on the outside of a stablemate. Luck Happy from the yard of Nor Asman, and Casey Tan will take the ride. It's still a maiden after 15 starts. Hasn't been far away in recent outings, coming off that last start 4th to Ultra Hero back on the 10th of March, and did notch up successive placings back in January and February of this year. That is Luck Happy, who goes around in race 5. Uncle Glory goes around in race number 6, draws barrier 12. Isaac will take the ride. Uncle Glory, recent form only moderate. If he races on the speed, he might be in with a chance, but he has to be used up from a wide barrier there on Saturday, and is coming off an unplaced effort over 1,400 metres there at Penang. That is Uncle Glory. He does tend to mix his form around a little bit. He goes around in the 6th. Now, Valbury goes around in the Kobe Handicap. That is race number 6 down the straight course, and will be ridden by Zed Kareel. Draws in the middle there at barrier 7, coming off a last start placing to Sing 50 back on the 10th of March, and was beaten 4 lengths on that occasion. Valbury has been around the mark, has had the 18 starts for the 5 placings to date. Valbury, and he'll be third up for the Shan Mugam yard there on Saturday, goes around in race 6. Now, carrying the number 48 saddle cloth is Always De Great, who's been a most consistent performer since debuting 10 months ago, notching 1 win and also 5 placings from 7 race starts to date, and he's coming off a last start third to Season Man at Penang back on the 18th of March. Looks a very good chance, gets in well there with the CK Core claim, goes around in race 7. That is Always De Great. Now, carrying the number 47 saddle cloth is Vrad, a former Singapore galloper, was formerly trained by Michael Walker there at Kranji, and is coming up from a long break. Hasn't had a run since May of last year, when its form really tapered off towards the end of its last preparation. Only the 1 win from 19 starts overall, and that win was recorded back in March of 2016. Vrad will be first up in race 7. Now, this is the 9-year-old campaigner. This is Joyful. He goes around in race 8 with AK Lim to take the ride. Did notch up successive seconds back in January and February of this year. Has come off 2 failures at Ipoh and Penang back on the 24th of March. Joyful does tend to mix his form around a little bit, but one simple rule with this guy: if he does shorten up on the tote, he usually runs a forward race, and it looks a very good chance in race number 8. He draws barrier 4. That's Joyful. Mates working together. That is Purple Rain Lady working up on the outside of Dane's Anatomy. Purple Rain Lady, of course, the 3-year-old filly, who's got 3 wins to its credit from 11 starts so far. Drops back to Class 4 company. Does look a very good chance in the Osaka Handicap with Zed Kareel to take the ride. Purple Rain Lady draws barrier 9 in the Osaka Handicap. That's her working up on the outside of stablemate Dane's Anatomy. Now, the 2 Kevin Coatsy stablemates are going round in race 9, and we've got Keen Dragon working up on the outside of Halo Inspire, which has recently joined the stable. And Keen Dragon has to overcome the wide barrier draw. Isaac will take the ride, coming off a last start 5th in Penang over 1,300 metres. And Halo Inspire is first up for the new stable, and is coming off an unplaced effort there at Ipoh back on the 10th of March. Now, Ultra Hero goes around in race number 9 and is coming off 2 wins in a row, both at Class 5 level. over 12 and 1400 metres, both races at Ipoh. And Ultra Hero is working up on the outside of stablemate Hasanader. Ultra Hero will be ridden by Benny Woodworth, and the horse steps up to Class 4 company in race 9, the Osaka Handicap, Ultra Hero. Now, I King is coming off a win 2 starts ago. Reuven will retain the right. He goes around in race 7. It goes from barrier 7 in the Osaka Handicap, which is race number 9, which winds up the card there on Saturday. I King was unplaced at Ipoh last start over the mile, and does step back to the 1400 metres, and does look a very good chance of winning again. That is I King.